In today's 9 minutes motivation, let's speak something much more on, sorry, something on might become unwantedly sensationalized. I don't know how to use those words, but something which I think is a lot of misconception in terms of religious books and our life. I remember once I was called for a talk addressing around thousand odd audience from a community, social community. And as I was being welcomed there and I was being taken to the stage, one elderly gentleman just walks up to me and start walking along with me till the dais. It was quite a distance to reach the stage, and he was telling, "I don't know why our people call people from outside to address. In fact, I've heard about you, but I also have read a lot of books. I also have read scriptures. I have read Bhagavad Gita. I have read Agam. I have read." And say he mentioned some books names. I have never read any books. I have never read Bhagavad Gita or Quran or Bible or any of the scriptures or any of the book that matter of fact. I kept hearing about the entire thing, and he was like eh, making me feel that you're not required to be here. I myself can go and take the program, but I don't know why my people have called you. For all these things, as I was walking up the dais, I said, "Yes, sir, you are more knowledgeable than me. You have read more books than me. You have read scriptures. Everything I agree, but what do I do? They called me to speak. They didn't call you to speak, so I'm helpless about it." So I went on the dais and spoke for that 90 minutes. It was a very beautiful program. But coming out, this was haunting to me. Was something just before the program, talking to an new audience is like something very strange to feel to go on the dais. So it was just disturbing me. Disturbing means momentary disturbance. I ask myself, and I ask this question to all of you: does reading a scripture regularly, every day, which I have seen a lot of people read some religious book. It can be Shani Mahatma, it can be Charitra Sai, it can be Sai Chalisa, Shiv Chalisa, Hanuman Chalisa. So many books. It may be Bible, Quran. Does reading a book or reading a scripture will change your life? Any book, scriptures, religious books, motivational books, self-help books, any kind of book. Just by reading the book, will it change your life? If that is so, then let's start believing in that. Start reading a book on how to learn swimming in 21 days. Read it every day religiously, intensely, lot of passion. Keep reading every day. One morning you read, evening, night you read before going to sleep. How to learn swimming in 21 days. And then tell me, every day for last 6 years you have read how to learn swimming in 21 days. Every day religiously. Have you become swimmer? Will you become a swimmer? Will anybody become a swimmer? Every day read the recipes of whatever dish you like. Never go in the kitchen. Never use the kitchen items. Never ingredients of the kitchen. Now you think will you become a good cook? No, no. So why this whole obsession with knowledge people have? That they want to accumulate more and more knowledge, more and more knowledge, more and more knowledge, and do nothing with their life. It's not about knowing. It's all about doing with what you know. Because knowing is knowing, doing is doing. Both are different part. And somehow very conveniently, this is a human folly in understanding that human intelligence get this confusion that it thinks just because it knows it, it's for him it completeness. Because intelligence has this problem. Moment it absorbs knowledge or it learns knowledge or it picks up some knowledge or some piece of information, somehow they feel so satisfied that I know it. But I think that is where the trick of life lies, that those few genius, those few people who became legendary in life, They went one step ahead by all that I was knowing. They decided, let me also go and make it happen in the world by practicing it and doing it. And when the knowing turns into doing, aha, that's where something legendary happens in life. That's where results happens in life. That's where life that you always desired to, with that intention you read that book or that scripture. Because you read the scripture thinking by reading the scripture, my life will become better. This is half understanding. Yes, reading a scripture, it will definitely change your life, provided whatever you read, you practice in life. Okay, I'll put it like this. How Jesus Christ lived his life, that lifestyle, what he experientially went through, he shared with his apostles. They put everything in written form, and his life became a message. The way Krishna lived his life, that was put into documents as Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So his life became a message. How Prophet understood the call of Allah and the way he was living, that was told to everybody, shared with everybody, and that's how that became their message. Their lifestyle became the message. You and me to understand this message should become our life. So you take the message, read the message, start applying in your life, start practicing in your life. So when Jesus Christ said, forgive the sinner 77 times, you start doing it in your world. In that aspect, you have become Jesus Christ. When Sri Krishna says, "Tu karam karte rahe, phal ki chinta mat kar," you keep focusing on the action and not on the results. Now you go and start focusing on the process, and doesn't matter what result happens. You have started living like Krishna. That is how Krishna lived. That is what he spoke. That is what was written. That is how Jesus Christ lived. And that was what written. And that's what we have to read and practice in our life. Reading a book, reading a scripture, listening to a speech will only give you intellectual satisfaction. That's it. Beyond that, it will not help any one of us in life. So let's not create this huge burden of what we basically call it as unimplemented knowledge is a burden. Whatever you know, out of 100 things that you have read or 100 things that you have heard, out of that, you and me may not be able to practice all the 100. Take two. Those two things which you think you are ready for it. And these two things can vary from people to people. Take those two things and then implement in your life, practice in your life, then pick up another two. And like that, slowly, 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 one day, it might sound very exaggerated to all of you. One day, by reading Bhagavad Gita, practicing Bhagavad Gita, living like Bhagavad Gita, you and me will live like Krishna in our lives. By reading reading Bible, practicing Bible, living by Bible, who knows? One day you and me will become Jesus Christ in our lives. By reading Quran, practicing Quran, living Quran on a day-to-day basis, who knows? One day you and me will also live like Prophet Muhammad. And it is true with all the scriptures, all the religious books. It's one thing to be religious. It's one thing to be spiritual. I prefer to be spiritual rather than to be a religious reader and a practitioner. What's going to be your choice? Make the choice and you'll see the difference. Reading a book on swimming, you don't become a swimmer. Reading the recipes every day, wholeheartedly memorizing it, you don't become a cook. Like that. Reading about life does not make you a great liver. You need to know how to live by practicing it. With that belief, let's start a beautiful, beautiful day. Here we go. Guys, go get set and grow.